You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
If you're new here, and you might be, if somebody's new here, this is the podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bikepacking, bike camping, or just playing bikes. How you doing, Joey?
I am doing great.
Awesome. See, you've been Mr. Nika.
Yeah.
Mr. Nika. I want to tell you that having had just a little teeny tiny part, I had like the minusculest part of the Eastern Regionals.
It's on your hat.
It's on my hat. I support all the gear, and I've actually had people ask me about it right here in Prince Frederick.
You're the gear man.
It was pretty cool.
Do you have this limited edition one?
No, I don't. I don't have that because that's 2024.
Yeah, it's like the underground. No, it's just joking. This is last year's.
I do have one of the 2025s.
Yeah,
and they are really, really primo sweatshirts.
They're nice.
They are very, very. But we're talking like people are sitting here with us and they can see.
No,
what
they're
I'm pointing
nice. At. I have accumulated a ton of sweatshirts from TC, and I love them all.
My goal is to have as many Nika/TC sweatshirts now as I have Grusk. So
oh no,
we got a long ways to go for that one.
I might have actually surpassed that, unfortunately. My sweatshirt to T-shirt ratio, I have a ton. I was just telling Jess, my mother-in-law always gets me gift cards for Christmas and holidays, and I asked her for a Huckberry one. So I can get some nicer dress, just casual clothes because most of my wardrobe is bike stuff and Nika stuff, and I have a couple flannels and that's it.
Yeah.
I wear nothing else.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
And I legitimately the same deal. It's all bike clothes that I wear.
Yeah.
I think I've worn out a Croatan Buck 50 T-shirt.
You wore out the Gravel King shirt.
I
That's
totally
horrible quality. You should
wore
return
this
that one.
out. You know what though? Because it's had
You should
so
get TC
much.
to make your merch.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Thought about that. Didn't think about that.
Yeah. See.
But folks, you can get that again now.
I know.
I did, and we're not just doing this podcast because I reopened the merch store.
No, I got sick last week and we took a week off.
Took a week off
since our
Sorry
last
about
episode.
That.
So it's I was a little busy with regionals. So,
but I had so many people. I wore the Sheets gravel the Sheets gravel shirt one day at the regionals, and I had so many people. Like, where can I get it? Where can I get it? Where can I get it? And I was like, I don't know. So check out the website. Maybe I'll open it back up. So I did open it back up. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'm going to keep it open. It's expensive to keep a Shopify store open. It's not cheap.
But we're going to start charging paywalls for this podcast.
You know what? That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good idea.
Everyone's doing it.
We could be like the New York Times. We could give them the first part of it, the first part of the podcast, and then to get the rest, you have to pay.
There is, now we're talking business strategy since, it's been a week or so since our last episode. But there's a ton of people I see that, and they do it on YouTube too, where they'll release it to Patreon first,
ahead of time?
And then 6 months later.
Yeah.
That doesn't help because I like helping event promoting.
Yeah. No, we could never do that. And I'll be honest with you, I think
we're just going to ask for some corporate money because the bike industry is thriving right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm kind of over the whole Patreon thing.
I am too.
I'm you know what?
Everything I just said was false.
If we produce good quality content, people will keep coming back.
We just need to keep the lights on.
And when they listen, we'll attract all of these high dollar sponsors.
Yeah.
And they're going to show up. They're going to flock to us.
Well, the other day you told me we owe $200 or else we lose all our episodes. For real? And I was like, oh crap! I'll give you $100.
I just paid that.
Oh, you did? So I'll give you $20. We got a bill. So Jack bought the Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Dirt from us for about $1.
I sold him a bag of stickers for $1. Yeah.
So we don't actually own any of this.
So actually, we could rack up all kind of bills.
Oh yeah.
That is actually that's a great strategy. And then Jack would actually have to pay for them all. Mm. And then when he doesn't pay for them, we'd have Larry come in as the enforcer and be like, you need to pay these bills. Because,
good.
Nobody's going to tell LFP no.
No,
that doesn't happen. So, no, seriously, in all seriousness, you just finished up your Nika season.
Yep.
And this was your first full season
from start to finish.
From start to finish.
Not finish, but I'm close.
As being the big, bearded, bossy man.
Yes.
So how'd it go?
I'm not bossy.
No, you're not bossy. Haven't been there in a little bit. I'll reference it a few times, but to set the stage, I did go up and help at regionals with the merch tent that TC runs and selling sweatshirts and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I got to see a little bit of it.
So to sum up my year, we don't really have time constraints because it's our own podcast. But
do whatever we want.
Last year, I left the shop 1st of August, became associate director of the league with the intent of if I didn't hate it and everyone was okay with it, I would take over. We had a pretty flawless season.
Was that in writing that everybody had to like you?
No, it's just kind of a joke. And that's when you all caught that side of it. And then starting in January 1, we did the turning of the spoon or whatever that's called.
Did you actually have a formal?
No,
ceremony?
I don't know it.
That would have been fun.
There's
like a passing of the hat.
There's like contract, like I signed stuff for HR, but
Ooh,
no. So starting January 1, it started the year. The early part of this year was busier than a regular season for this job because there's a lot of different onboarding, learning, planning, talking to people, meetings, which a lot of that will still happen, but the onboarding and some of the new guy stuff is gone. We went right in. The off season for this job is you're doing a lot of logistical work. You're sitting at a computer,
planning the schedule,
the schedules. You're pretty much locked in by January. I need to lock in ours for 2026 now, but let's say it was a little different last year. I guess technically this year because of the onboarding stuff. Like it's one of those jobs where, there's only like 30 people that do it. And then you have some other folks in the country like Kelly Catelli who does her version of it. And, it's not something there's a book written about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not saying every job's easier, every job's hard. This is like 6 different jobs in one at times. Like sometimes I'm an adult counselor. Sometimes I'm a race promoter. Sometimes I'm an accountant. Sometimes I'm
oh God,
I'm doing logistics for hotels and food and, at the same time, I'm putting on mountain bike races for 700 kids. And
you need to hire an assistant.
Well, I have a huge staff, but a lot of it, I'm the only salaried full-time person in Maryland. So I have an associate director, Adam, who's been with the league since before it started.
Who I got to meet, Adam.
Yeah,
and
Adam's
what a
like
great
my
guy,
big brother.
What a great guy.
He actually looks like my big brother. Adam and John, who I replaced, who's still on staff doing a ton of outreach and does so much for the community, still is at my side helping me when I need it, or
cool.
Second set of ears, or there's some weird task that pops up and he's already done it and he's like, oh, I took care of this because he's one of few who knows how busy and intricate it is.
Yeah.
And getting back to that first part, it's not just like clear cut of what you're doing. But yeah, we started going. I had some good months in the winter. We planned what's called a coaches retreat. We did that in April. That was getting as many of our coaches ready or together as possible for a weekend, going over some education stuff, some actual bike skills stuff.
Well, let me pause you for a second because I feel like I want to clarify. It feels to me like you got 2 different jobs.
I got 4 different jobs.
Well, no, in the grander scheme of things,
yeah,
you've got you're managing the whole of the program, which includes all of the school programs, and you're talking to coaches and you're giving them resources and you're working with them, and then but then also the other side is you're actually putting on how many events?
We did 7 within 2.5 months.
Okay, so you're putting on all those races for the kids for the weekend. So you're planning and executing all that, but then you're also kind of shepherding the whole of the program. So it almost feels like there's 2 very different jobs. Very, very different
jobs. And there's more built into that. Yeah, we do that part of it, and then the season opens for coaches and everyone to sign up after, once we get into April and May. Teams start building things up, and then July 1st, the official season starts for everyone to practice. And then middle of August, we put our first event on. And that production is pretty ginormous. Like I said, we're about 700 student athletes with 350-ish coaches plus families. So we're,
huge.
And it's the actual, everyone only sees the race day stuff, but they don't see how much work the volunteers put in that are on my staff. The let's get there at Friday and start setting up and put on this pretty world-class looking production.
Well, heading into regionals, which you produced.
Yes.
you had 2 back-to-back weekends. You were gone for like 12
Yeah.
or 13 days.
So back in May, I was we had some plans change within the Mid-Atlantic region. NICA 2 years, 3. I guess this was the third year. 2 years ago, I guess 3 years ago. I don't know how to tell you a timeline. This was the third Eastern Regionals put on 2.5. Golly, I can't say.
Doesn't
I guess
matter.
2023, the regional event happened. It was the first of its kind for NICA. It was 11 states on the East Coast. That was kind of the brainchild of this group called the Diamond Dogs Crew, which is basically the Delaware, New Jersey, New York, PA, Maryland. Did I say them all? Delaware, New Jersey, PA, New York, Maryland league directors. I got brought into that circle, which has been a fun, tight-knit group of guys.
You were the inner circle.
The inner circle, yeah.
The inner circle.
And ended up Mike Kuhn and the Pennsylvania crew. If everyone doesn't know who Mike Kuhn was part of the brainchild with Dave Pryor for Unpaved and has done a lot of mountain bike and gravel event stuff. Maybe not as much in the gravel side. Dave, I've never actually dug into Mike's history. Mike's got pretty deep history though with cross, a little bit of cross and mountain biking. He founded Pennsylvania's league. I remember him in the early days of Unpaved, all the way up to a couple of years ago when he was flipping pancakes at RB Winters. But he's been pretty involved with that side, so I think he just has been focusing on NICA. But basically, they produced it the last 2 years. I watched and did manual labor last year for it. Mm-hmm. And then back in May, I was texting you guys back and forth like, hey, I got this offer to take on this big production. You might not see me for a while. On top of being like my first year. And our regular events went pretty smooth. There was a ton of anxiety internally. But with the help of NICA National, we have like a national race production manager, Sean, who's actually a Mid-Atlantic native, from Jersey, and has put on a ton of cross races. He was instrumental on putting that on, but basically me and my crew, when it came down to it, other than hours and hours of computer work and trips up there, produced the whole event back-to-back weekends from our own state finals.
If I knew which button on this little soundboard was applause,
I don't want applause.
I would give you some applause. Well, I would give you some applause. I would give you some applause.
But to come down to it, basically our season was, from what people see out on the outward-facing side, not what I do on the back end, was third or so week in August, we did an adventure weekend, which isn't race-related, but we get the league together, and it's light lift. For the people, it was still a lot for us. And everyone goes and rides with coaches, and they do an adventure ride up at Button Farm, which is Schaefer's farm and part of the Moco Epic and Seneca Creeks. It's a beautiful, huge chunk of trails. And then every other weekend after that was a race. All the way through.
But you told me kids don't have to race.
No, they don't have to race.
You choose what you want to do.
But we actually put on the races, and then we do another adventure in the middle of it up at Deep Creek to low pressure, still have fun. Mm-hmm. We still put on it, professionally. And then
it was very professional. I'm going to tell you what.
Regionals, yeah. I'm saying our adventure weekends are lighter lift, but we still put the heart into it where the setup is beautiful and everyone's having a good time. But then we get every other weekend. So there's kind of weekends off, but I didn't really have a day off at all. If you piece it all together, I was always doing something on a weekend. The one weekend I actually quote unquote took off, I still had to do NICA work, but I shot photos for Public Lands Ride. So I had a 4-week stretch where I was never home on the weekends. And
I know a lot of times we're out on a ride and we'll have to stop for you to take a phone call.
Oh, you've taken calls from me, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I don't care.
This time of year I'm okay. And then let's fast forward to Justice calendar. So the 29th of October, I left. And I went and picked up my truck, and I drove about 400 or 500 miles, collected a bunch of trailers, and that weekend of November 1st and 2nd, right above your head, at the same venue in Fairhill, which is up in Elkton, Northeast Maryland.
Beautiful.
It's
beautiful
gorgeous.
Up there.
We did our state championships for about 1,400 people with with parents on this beautiful chunk of property. Mm-hmm. But we went into that knowing the only way we were going to produce regionals is if we did regionals the next weekend. Mm-hmm. So I lived up there until Veterans Day for like 13 days, and we ran a beautiful state championship race for all the kids, and it was the finish of our regular season. And then we left a lot of our course up, but then we reproduced it with an expo, add a few thousand more people, add kids from Florida up to New York racing, national staff out here. Like we took over Elkton, Maryland.
Yeah. There's so many people.
Yeah.
So many people. Oh.
And that's not even like tapping into it. I think, it's still building up. I think there's been a few years where it's, I want to change a couple things if I were to do it again next year. But no, we put a lot of people up there.
So this was 11 states. It was from New York to Florida.
Yep.
That's the Eastern Regionals. Now, does NICA have a Nationals? Is there like another level for these kids to go?
No, not yet. So right now, This is the third year of Eastern. Last year, the Arkansas crew came out and watched and learned, and they put on a Central Regional in Fayetteville the same weekend we did ours. So it was cool because we had these two regional productions going on at the same time. And then while that was happening,
So cool.
So in Utah is the biggest NICA league out there right now. With coaches and students, there are about 7,000 people.
Holy.
It's ginormous.
Wow. How many are in Maryland?
700.
700. Okay.
Pennsylvania has about 1,400, and I think we're sitting about the two biggest with Virginia and Pennsylvania, or Virginia and New Jersey sitting right behind us, 500 plus.
And I want to interject, too, so the people that may not know, NICA is state organized, and it's no tryout.
Correct. No benches.
No benches. Every kid participates.
And
every
adult.
kid, yeah.
You can be an adult and coach and have fun.
Yeah. Super, super cool program.
Yeah.
Just awesome. If bikes have impacted your lives, and they probably have if you're listening to this, and you've got littles or you've got maybe like I have grandchildren, that you're starting to think about like what their future may hold. Like, this is a great program.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What age ranges can participate?
6 through 12.
6 to 12.
Yeah.
Perfect. Brilliant.
So the Utah crew sent people to both regionals, and they had folks writing stuff down, observing, watching, learning, and they're going to do a Western regionals next year.
Nice.
So they'll be separate weekends instead of the same. So we're not battling over
resources of
TC is one of our big helping hands and sponsors, and they were low on resources. The SRAM truck went to Central.
And TC, for folks that may not know, they do all the merch. They do all the screen printing.
Do a ton.
They're based out in Arkansas, but actually sent a huge presence, which I was a little bit a part of.
And they're so like our national sponsors were spread thin. I was able to use some of my resources and pull in my friends from Specialized. We got the World Cup rig there, thanks to Dave and David. We got a bigger Shimano presence this year. We had a good SRAM presence. Trek was there. So we had the big four for us. And then just everyone from colleges up. So
the vendor expo was like magnificent.
Oh, it was great.
It was
just rolling into a youth mountain bike event and having people there.
It was so pro. Bina did a great job with that. Just absolutely phenomenal.
But the goal is we have these, and maybe we eventually split into regionals. So maybe there's 6. You have a Northeast, Southeast, South Central, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually maybe a national production of it.
Somewhere down the line. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, getting the regional productions dialed in and that system figured out.
Well,
the problem with regionals is, and it's not a problem, and I think it's the learning side to get to nationals, is we're a fall league, and what that means is we are July 1st through Saturday was the last official day anyone could participate. But starting October 1st, there's spring leagues out there, which New Jersey is. So it's beginning of their season at the end of ours, which is cool. So you get some of these student athletes who aren't in their season, like they just started their season. Then you get our student athletes that are finishing their season.
Yeah.
Not everyone's, one side
on that same schedule.
Yeah.
On the same schedule. Well, I mean, I guess that makes some sense. I know that if like you're in Florida, maybe you're doing a different season or.
The fall's been great. We had great weather. We had no rain dates, or we had no rain or storms or anything. There was possibility of actually some bad weather for regionals and our finals, but that blew over. We did get a nasty. So like we set up our course and left most of it. We didn't leave any of the actual fencing and canopies and arches up, but that windstorm like ripped our tape up. There's these things called step-ins that we put everything in. The tape wraps around. Those got flung out of the ground, which it was blowing constantly 70 to 80 that night
Holy smoke!
up there. And it's big open fields, and so we had to do a little bit of rework. But
Now,
it took a lot of work to put that on.
where were your venues this season? I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious about all this stuff.
So we started at Button Farm, which is in Montgomery County.
That's Schaefer Farm.
Schaefer Farm. Then we went to Rosaryville, which
Okay.
is my closest one, which is 40 minutes, maybe 50. And then after that, we went to, which we didn't go to last year, so that was tricky. Not tricky for me because it was a new venue for me, but we went to this place called River's Edge Trails in Brunswick, Maryland.
Okay.
For folks that have listened for us a while, me and Brian have done overnighters out of Brunswick, which we love. It's a cool little train town.
Well, unless
but-
you have to wait for the train.
Unless you got to wait for the, which is a thing and happened in the years past with the league. But Carlo out there pretty much built a huge chunk of trails that border school property,
Okay.
Brunswick Middle School and High School. So we raced.
Oh, awesome.
It was one of the only races you can find where we're an interscholastic program racing on school. Like our pit zone set up and the end zone, or the infield we call it, was on a football, baseball, whatever, basically the
a
outfield of
multi-use
a
field kind of thing.
softball field. And then they went and raced in the trail. So we raced there in a small town, helped
So
the town
cool.
out.
What's
and
your
then-
what's your go, keep going. You
I don't know that one yet for that. And then from there, we went to Deep Creek. That was an adventure weekend versus race,
Okay.
which is a blast. That's a fun. I went out there Thursday and came home Sunday. We do a big staff ride on Friday, so we do the big loop. We climb the mountain on our bikes, and you get an awesome descent, and you get to hang out, and everyone's camping. And we got a giant Airbnb on top of Wisp. Like the ski lifts for one of them were like 4 doors. Like we're next to the houses, like 4 doors over.
Oh, cool.
And this house up like 20 of us. It was just a giant log cabin. So that was good bonding. And then we went to this place called the Pickall area in Patapsco Valley State Park.
Okay.
And then we went to Fairhill and did our state finals. And then we did Fairhill again for number 7.
That's cool. And now all of these are places too that well, I don't know about Fairhill, but like I know Rosaryville, it's trail system. These are all trail systems. But is Fairhill technically a mountain bike trail system, or is it?
Oh, yeah, they got
Okay.
so many trails.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if that was somewhere that.
No,
people
there's
could
some of the
just go.
best trails I've ridden.
Now that looks like be a wonderful like getaway weekend. Is there like regular camping at Fairhill? Could you go there and like?
The camp. So we have a use agreement, and there's a youth group campsite in the back.
It's one of those kind of places.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I do think I've never looked just because we've had the youth group.
Yeah.
But there's 40, I think, plus miles of single track there,
Wow.
and a lot of it's nice.
Wow.
And our race loop was great, and then we had an adventure loop at our regionals. So we had a separate 12 to 13 mile course that didn't touch our race course that people could ride all weekend.
Okay.
'Cause Sunday is from 8 a.m. till 4 is we had 6 waves of races, 150 plus each wave going off. But you could show up and not even be part of the race day and go ride. You could go to the expo. You could go get coffee from Carl or Jake.
Carl's funny. I told you I talked to Carl, and he told me, he said he can't use single-ply toilet paper without thinking about a finger bridge.
Man, I got to dig into I had a date with Carl earlier this fall of that public lands ride. But no, I mean, I think that kind of wraps up. Right now I'm doing the last bit of financials of Eastern Regionals, taking care of it. It's all the desk work now again.
Yeah.
Checking my invoices. I'm checking schedule. Looking at next year. I got budget and inventory due because we inventory our trailers and a lot of stuff we have before the end of the year. And it's weird. It hit me really hard and the fact that I've been full steam since middle of July,
Yep.
pretty much since June, but once event season came around, and then you just kind of hit this abrupt wall of, like, I worked those 13 days, and they were 12, 15-hour days, and then I come home, and it's just like, there's nothing. Like, there is something, but you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
and that was all, like, physical labor, then it was hours at a computer again, and it was setting up a race course, then it was adjusting the course in between races or in between weeks, and then having to go ride it just to check it and get people the GPX files, and then getting the word out about that. And then, like I said, I came home, you know, I took a day to decompress, but it's like, it's hard not wanting to just keep working, and there's work to do, but I'm trying to balance myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when you first took the job, you were talking about how you'd have like some of this downtime. And I think that first year was a lot of adjustments. So you didn't see that downtime.
Didn't as much, yeah.
Didn't as much. And you know, believe it or not, I mean, July's not that far away.
No, and like,
We're
we're going to do things a little different this year, because I didn't bring on, like this, Deanna. I think you met Deanna. Deanna started
sure.
as a. Deanna's been instrumental this year with Adam and the rest of my crew, but you know, there's certain things where, you know, we want to do different prep work differently this year. So, no, and like, she's my race director this year. She was our what we call volunteer coordinator before that, and she just was a coach and a mom that started a team, and it's really cool, the progression of like her.
I guess that's the other thing to
and
think
the
about
help
too.
I've gotten.
If you're a parent and you don't, there's no program, you can start one.
You can start your own team. You can just you can just coach on another team. There's a ton of parents who like, I don't have a kid and I joined the program.
Yeah.
Before, you know, I just started without knowing I was getting this job. But a ton of my staff don't have students in the program anymore, or never did. They just loved it, and they knew John Posner, and he started this thing up. And
well, it's very inspiring.
Yeah.
I told you that when we got back. It's like, it's very inspiring to go see.
Yeah. You don't have to have.
Yeah, and interact with the kids and see them so excited about bikes and about like being outdoors. And, you know, it was like super cool.
It's funny because, like, I'm pretty pooped and worn out, and I know it's my job. But a lot of these kids, I don't mean to always say kids, a lot of these student athletes, because I want to call them all kids, like, they'll race on a Sunday for us, but they're racing a cross race on Saturday. And then this past weekend, you know, a lot of them raced finals, regionals, and they raced Rockburn Cross this past weekend. So it's like they're going every weekend, still racing bikes.
It introduces them to competitive cycling, particularly mountain bike competitive cycling. And it's something that even if you don't remain competitive, or that you even want to be competitive, you can do for the rest of your life.
I just want them to keep riding, you know, race aside.
Very difficult once you get past your interscholastic years to find a couple of baseball teams that want to play.
Exactly.
You know, but a bike, it's yours for the
cruise.
rest of your life. You know, it is so cool. I was so excited to be, just like I said, just a little teeny tiny part of it. And to get to see you in your element, it was wonderful. You had your big vest on. I kept trying to grab a hold of the microphone. I was going to say, "Go for Joey," and you were not allowing me to do that, and that was probably the proper thing to do. So super cool.
And I had some nice trips in between all that.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been all over. I went to the mothership, the other mothership, because I have history with Specialized, and I've spent a ton of time out there. But I went to – I got my fidget all over. I went to Wisconsin back in June.
Oh, in Wisconsin.
I had like another 3 weeks where I wasn't home, like literally wasn't home. But
did you have some cheese curds while you were there?
You know, I don't think I ever did.
I
went to –
Yeah.
I got fed so well. But we went so Trek is our big sponsor. Trek and SRAM are our top tier sponsors, and just underneath that, Specialized in Shimano. I'm not going to dig into all that, but basically Trek hosted us for just the league directors. We spent a day at the Trek Lodge, which was amazing.
Where you're going out there in the trails, you were talking about how wonderful the trails were.
Like, we spent most of the day, you know, sitting through discussions, seminars, educational stuff, and then had a nice lunch, and then did some more classroom stuff inside the lodge, which was gorgeous, and that's on the property of the Trek trails. And then the last part of the day, we all went out and rode. and the trails on site, like they have their own. I mean, they have their own trails. They have their own staff that are trail builders and trail maintainers. They have a pump. Like, it was awesome, and I didn't have to bring a bike. Now they didn't have a ton of bikes like when I was at Specialized, because I also helped with those bikes sometimes out there, and but the Wisconsin League, who's local, brought a bunch of like Trek Marlins. And if you don't know what a Trek Marlin is, and I'm only saying this because I had a blast, is everyone got a bike. No one had to bring a bike, but I got assigned a Trek Marlin 5, which is like a $500 to $700 entry level mountain bike.
Nice.
And it was so humbling because I'm riding with some awesome people.
So the bike does make a difference.
It does, but it doesn't. And I say at the end of the story, it'll make a difference because I was actually like, "Oh, this is kind of be cool." Kind of takes you back.
Yeah.
I'm riding $9,000 full suspension mountain bike from Specialized, which is great. But it also shows you how spoiled you are. And then you get on this, and it's Tektro brakes that I know from history that just suck. For someone, I'm 6 foot and 210 pounds. There's no dropper post. It's just like it's a silver stanchion fork, as we joke, and like it's just a coil elastomer fork. There's no adjustability, and we just went out and rode.
How many times you go, ooh, ooh?
A lot, and I heard some noises, and I got to the point where I'm like, I do not want to break a kid's bike because that's part of their demo program. Because we have a fleet, we built up a fleet. John did of bikes in Maryland, and we have a demo trailer, and John goes out and does. Demos for people that want to try the program. But
takes you back to those old days of being with Wes out on the lake and rolling off the bridge into the water. Isn't that on YouTube? I should find that and share
that. Wasn't even with Wes. That was my friend Chris in high school.
I can't remember who it was.
The guy's dad that I bought the boat motor from. That was his son I was with. But no, it was great. The trails were awesome. The amount of times that I kept trying to use my dropper sucked. But then we got to this really fun section. It reminded me of Indoor. A Star Wars fan, and it was loopy and flowy, but my brakes just gave out. So much I asked of them to do, and then I clocked a tree. And they weren't tubeless, and they were tubed. And like I said, you could pick these apart, but like I said, it was humbling. But yeah, no, I clocked a tree pretty good. Not didn't destroy anything. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get back to the lodge and everyone out for like another mile or two.
That's fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's good times, man.
The next day we rode again. But no, Trek was Waterloo was a pretty cool. Or we were in Madison. It was a pretty cool town.
Yeah.
Going to the Trek headquarters was something I never thought I would do.
Yeah.
But that is an every other year thing. Next year we have our big national conference in Bend, Oregon, and then the year after we'll go back to Trek.
Going out to the West Coast again.
Yeah.
Back to,
Yeah. But then I think I flew home from that, and the next morning me and Jess drove to Maine for a week and a half. So that was gone for a while.
Hey, you've traveled a lot. You've traveled a lot.
Yeah, I know.
But that's good. Me, I'm a homebody now. I think adventure cycling is kind of done. I stick a fork in it. I think it's finished. I remember getting some of our returns from some of our reviews. They give you the feedback, and I think some of the big overall feedback, the one that struck in my mind is that I'm tired of paying Trek travel prices and sleeping in the dirt and eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So there's a whole nother world of bike touring that's out there that's at a different level.
I don't mind eating PB&Js and sleeping in tents though.
I don't either.
Maybe not for $4,000.
Yeah, but if you're going to spend a whole bunch of money, you kind of want something a little different. And I think the model has changed, and ACA hasn't really kept up with it. It used to be about the grit and the dirt and the adventure side of it, and a part of their mantra and their model was to empower people to figure out how to do this for themselves. And I think the new model of bike touring wants a little bit more being catered to. I think they want to get in a van and go to the place that's going to be a nice place to stay, and hotel, like warm, cozy bed, and all that kind of stuff. So for the same money.
I mean, that's why we were booking, and we had that trip over to Spain in 2020 with Trek Travels because I didn't want to do Jack.
Yeah, that's it.
Not my friend Jack, but
Yeah, I know what you meant. And then, it's just, I think the world of touring has changed. Now, I think part of it could be that there's been a divide, that where it used to be, before the days of the term bike packing, it used to be the idea and the concept of throwing stuff on your bike and going out on an adventure. And now you've got this division. You've got this world of bike packing, and you've got this world of touring. And touring people, I think, want a little bit different experience than the people who are doing bike packing. And you really can't. It's very difficult to cross over the two. So I
C&O and Gap in the spring, $1,800 self-contained. What is self-contained for adventure cycling?
Self-contained means you're carrying everything.
So for $1,800,
Yeah.
I can go ride. And this isn't a jab at you. I
get it.
Like I see it now. Like the Maine Coast lighthouses. So here's this one for C&O and Gap back to back, $1,800 self-contained. $14.99 van supported is the Maine Coast and Lighthouse ride, which is a little bit cheaper.
That actually is not a bad price.
No offense, I love the canal and the Gap, but you probably have some prettier views on the Maine Coast Lighthouse ride, and you get a van.
It's not a green tunnel.
Now,
so van supported means you're riding your bike and you're not carrying all of your gear.
Exactly.
So you load everything into a van, into a trailer, and it takes off with all your gear. And then when you get to the end, you've got a trailer with cooking. Yep. But, I think there's the little things that people still upset at. People get really skivved out by the idea of group cooking. Meaning, like, you have 14 people on a 7-day trip, and 2 people will cook dinner one night, and so you got to plan it and execute it.
It's like Boy Scouts,
exactly. And it's I think people get a little weirded out by that, but for me, it's like it's a part of the adventure. It's you get to know the people that you're with, and
then here's
and how much was Maine?
Maine's $1,500. Van supported doesn't sound horrible.
How many days?
May 31st through June 6th, so 7 days.
Wow.
Crater Lake, this is end to end. This is what I'm talking about. July 13th through 19th, $41.99. But that one sounds like it's pretty.
So end to end,
you're not even camping for that one.
End to end, though, you're carrying all your stuff.
Oh man.
Because there's no van support on end to end. You're riding from end to end, and so you're carrying all of your gear. Now, when you are staying in hotels, you're not carrying as much gear.
Oh, yeah.
You're not carrying tents and all the stuff that you do like when you're self-contained. Self-contained is you're carrying it all, which is what we're used to. It's a traditional idea of what we started to do way back in the days.
So here's one. The Pacific Coast Redwoods and Rocky Shores. $10,149.
Wow.
Duration, 41 days.
Is that van supported?
Van supported, difficulty level 5. It has it's 6 weeks long. So you go Bellingham to Toledo, Washington, Toledo to Florence, and you basically end up in San Diego. How many people? How many
Those are the ones that'll fill up. So
I mean, if you think about it, 6 weeks for $10,000, that's pretty cheap.
And it's also, but that's camping. You are getting at the end of the day, and you're setting up your camp.
I just want to know how many fights and arguments happen on that, because you were there sitting people for 6 weeks, like.
I won't share this. No, actually, I could share the stories now because I don't know that I'm really going to recall to do one again.
So, here's what I don't understand, and I know they basically didn't adventure cycling make the Great Divide route, right?
Yeah,
it's self-contained. The Great Divide, Montana, which I believe is just the dates of the Great Divide, is $2,700 self-contained. Like, why am I paying?
Well, what a lot of people pay for is like what you just said with truck travel, the logistics, the management of the campgrounds. You do have somebody even when you're self-contained, you have somebody with you that's trained, that like me.
Oh, okay. So you're not just getting the GPS coordinates.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
You've got somebody with you,
so you can wipe my butt.
You're carrying all of the all of the cooking gear, and all of your camping gear. Or did you say that's van supported?
It's self-contained.
It's self-contained.
Great Divide. You're not. Getting a van.
They do have van-supported Great Divides. Yeah, they do. Very difficult to get the vans to
Cycle to Divide is fully supported for 2,000.
So fully supported is another animal. That means that somebody comes along with you and cooks for you.
Best amount, 7 days, dirt, level. It's at level 4 difficulty.
Yeah.
I don't need to go through all these, but Sorry, it is not the whole Great Divide route for this one.
No. Cycle the Divide's usually like a 7-day.
You're basically in northwest Montana in the mountains.
Yeah.
All right, so you're not doing the 2,000 miles.
No, not doing the whole thing. All right,
I don't want to pick apart all these, but a lot of them seem great.
Some of them seem like they're on point, and that's I think what people are confused by, and they've cut down their numbers of starts for this year. They've actually, I believe, also I can get into the weeds. They've outsourced the tour management from being in-house. I haven't heard from anybody out there in months, and I don't think I'm going to get the call again. I think it's once it turned into another company.
Are you going to get drafted?
No. But I did pick up. So next year I'll still do Empire State Ride as long as they'll have me. And I've picked up one additional, another cancer fundraiser. Keystone State Ride. Keystone State Ride goes from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia in September, and it supports the Penn Medicine's Abramson Cancer Center. It is a van-supported 6-day, 400-plus miles, roughly 75 miles a day. So no joke, but a lot of it is the Gap and even, I believe, the towpath, and then we go through Gettysburg and then somehow end up – I haven't really looked at the routes in detail.
Through, like, Schrute Farms? If you're going through Gettysburg?
Yeah, we go through Schrute Farms. Okay. Yeah. We nobody can go to any part of near Scranton and not go to Schrute Farms.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we're not going to Schrute Farms.
You go to the Battle of Gettysburg.
You see all the art and all of the music that comes out of Schrute Farms.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you ask for? So I don't know what my future of adventure cycling may hold, but it's fine. It is what it is. I've done that for a very, very long time, and maybe it's time to do something else. Now we go to events.
Sometimes
I go to probably more events now than you because a lot of them are in the fall.
Yes.
And that's very difficult for you, obviously, with running all those things, all those weekends that you just went through.
My own events, yeah.
Our can't miss events though for next year. I know we're already registered for Buck 50.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I was the exact first, but I set an alarm because I wanted to be the first. Mm-hmm. And then Alonzo said, "I already saw your name on there," so I don't know how he beat me. Like I pulled over on the side of the road.
Wait a minute! If he saw your name on there, that means you registered ahead of him.
Ah.
No, he saw your name on the list. You were probably number one. Well, you're always number one.
Well, last year I didn't sign up at all until I texted Matt like a week before. I was like, "Yeah, so." It still let me in.
So we're all signed up, all ready for Buck 50.
Yeah,
and
we threw another one in there that's not on here.
What's that?
We got peer pressured in the Monster Cross.
Oh, Monster Cross. That's right.
Jack's last Kumbaya.
That's right.
Events.
I forgot all about Monster Cross.
His offspring
I'm registered.
On the way.
I don't know that I count that. I don't know what I count that as. It's in Richmond.
I hate that event, and I'm only doing it because that might be our last big one for like a year with all of us.
Jack's having a baby.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Jack and Haley, having a kid.
So that one's on there, but no, the bookend of Buck 50 starts this season.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like Monster Cross almost feels like it's
and
just
Unpaved closes it.
Like a thing
you
go to. And then in the middle, I'm really bummed that I missed Grusk last year. Yeah. Sorry, Travis. But I'm not missing it this year. I just have so much fun at that event. But I know it's at the beginning of your season.
No, I mean, that's more obtainable this year because I was on that 3-week travel stretch.
I think it's the casual nature of it. It's like, and it's even, I don't know what it is. It's like you're camping in this field. Everybody else is there. It's so remote that, I mean, if you're trying to get a hotel or something, I believe
you don't get hotels.
But, I mean, it's like 30 or 40, 45 minutes away from the venue. So it's like you just want to come to that field. And so many people do that. It's out of necessity. So, like at Buck 50 offers that same environment, which I absolutely love. And I'm not sure that why in the world anyone would go to Buck 50 and not camp in the infield. I don't get it because it is such a huge part of the experience. But there's so many other options that a lot of people don't. And I get it. If you go down with a bunch of people and you want to get the beach house over on Emerald Isle and maybe stay a few days ahead of and a few days after, okay, yeah, I can kind of get that.
Or you could hang out with all of us. You could watch Mustangs do hot laps. You could have a fire. You could
there's so many things to
unofficially,
do.
if you want to climb the ball and the whatever that thing is out there, like
the Phillips.
You wake up. You're
thing.
not fighting for parking.
No,
you're there.
Yeah,
you can wake up. Well. what was that? What was that campfire? Where
Campfire
like
was-
15 minutes ago, and I'm not even dressed, and Matt comes over. He's like, "Hey," and I'm like,
He wanted to borrow your megaphone, and he was like, guys, you're actually going to start riding in like 15 minutes.
contacts weren't in, bike wasn't ready, and
That was super casual. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of the one in that campfire.
yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to happen again. But it was so brilliant and
Yeah.
so much fun. I absolutely,
But you can
absolutely
do
love that.
a bigger experience of that in March, and it's still open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Savage Road under a different name is back.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
course has changed.
no highway.
Yeah,
Did you know that? No highway.
was the highway the stretch that we actually ride on the road after the cornfield?
Yeah. So
that was like a nice break.
when you first start and you go out to the big highway and you make the
oh,
right,
that highway, yeah,
that highway, and then you
Oh no,
turn
because you
into
go
the
out
forest.
the backside of.
Yeah, so
Yep.
you were doing farm bypass this
Yep.
year, which is wonderful to have that back because
The road, as soon as you get on the gravel, that is like the longest, straightest gravel road. Besides Catfish. So that'd be nice not to do again.
Yeah.
Especially doing doing multiple laps.
and it's doing different. Like I think it's different, a much different configuration this year. So if you look at it and you say, "Well, I've done buck 50, and I don't think I feel like I need to do it again." The thing about this year is it's going to be a much different experience than you've had the last 2 or 3 years. So I would encourage people. I know it's early in the season, but it's fun.
It's the one of the best weekends on a bike.
And this is our progression through, because we were just talking about how much Unbound cost to register, because you were thinking about Unbound. It's like what? Like you got to take out a mortgage to get into Unbound?
I understand it now that I have a job where I'm putting on event production full time. And I'm sure me and like Dave, we could probably pick that one apart and look at it differently than most people, but still I would say on average, you're going to spend a couple $1,000s to do Unbound.
Just the entry fees, though.
I think the entry fee was $350 or $375 for the 200. It was $275 plus $40 process. It was over $300 for the 100, which is fine. I don't mind spending money on events, but when you're someone from Maryland and have already done that event before, the cost association to get there, get back, all the stuff, like I'd want to see if they did some economic impact survey where they broke apart each person's cost. But I would say it's going to cost the average person about $2,000.
Yeah, because people come from all over. It's not,
And when you're yelling at when you're yelling at your car radio right now, let's think about, and I'm not even the cost of the bike and all that other stuff is one thing. I'm not including that. But when you have to get your equipment out there, whether maybe you're driving and you save a little bit of cost, and but you're either going to ship your bike or fly your bike, which is going to cost money. And if you're the average cyclist, unfortunately, you're going to send that to the shop or you need help putting that together, which is no problem. But then that racks up to hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Then you got to return it home, do the same thing. Then there's the gas, the food, the lodging. You're going to spend money. That just adds up really quick.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it.
Yep.
Which is fine. The difference is when it comes to this listening audience in Croatan
Hey, Blake made an appearance.
is while it's not cheap, I don't think anything should be cheap that is of quality.
Yeah, good point.
And you get what you pay for certain things. And there's some events that aren't an arm and a leg, and they are perfect and small and intimate, and I love them. But when you look at what Matt does, what you get out of it, the fact that we drive down there, we carpool, we camp in the infield, we had a low country boil, we hung out, we went into town, we spent a few $100s at a fly shop, we helped the economy that way.
Local economy there. We actually went to the little taco place too.
We went to the taco place,
Yep.
but man, the best bang for the buck
$150.
is the
Hands down.
$150.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And we do it every year.
Yeah.
I go and I
And we-
register, and I go, oh, man, it's 100.
And you texted me like, oh man, I spent $200. I was like, that was the cheapest $200 you spent. Like,
And then we start talking it through, though. It literally takes about like an hour to go from, wow, that's really expensive, to, well, think about all the things you get. And then you throw on top of it. I mean, you got the camping. He gives some food. The swag that Matt gives is ridiculously awesome.
It's
I mean,
so good.
socks and T-shirts and, and it's not like one or the other. You just get all of this stuff, and you got places to stay. It's just wonderful.
And the second part of that is if you want to spend a little bit more money and stay somewhere nice and have a good weekend, you'll spend a little bit more money to do unpaved, maybe, depending on how you do it. That's where you should save your money. Because unpaved, you go get a nice Airbnb. Maybe it costs us, $1,000 for 5 of us. So 5 or 6 of us. So we break that down into a few $100s a person. Just along with $150, you get the most bang for your buck from unpaved. You have the best. It's the weekend experience events like that.
Yeah.
If you do the slumber party, you're saving a little bit, but it can be cold and nasty. And I love a nasty gray Pennsylvania day. I liked having an Airbnb up there.
So, but when we've been camping,
and you're driving 3 hours to go to Lewisburg. You're not driving 22 hours to go to Kansas, which I've done.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah. Stay on the East Coast. Spend your money here.
East Coast gravel is the best coast gravel.
Yeah.
So instead of spending $300-something plus all the travel, now I don't know about my life of unpaved might be coming to. It already came to an end, but it's also a weekend I don't plan an event around. So I think with the right prep work this year and not doing regionals for 2026, it'll be a nice, relaxing weekend.
Well, I went up this year, and Larry and we camped at RB Winter.
Yep.
And, RB Winter camping for 3 nights, it was like $100 or something like that.
Awesome.
And then we had the big Gazelle tent that we
had
heater.
weather and cold last year, and we were still comfortable.
Beautiful.
So we didn't need a house. I just contradicted what I just said.
No, you didn't. We didn't need a house, but you still had to be at RB Winter, and you're still outside.
It did pour once we got in our tent the last night last year.
You know that last year, neither one of us went up to the shower house.
No, we didn't shower at all.
Like 3 days, 4 days. I went up and took a shower this year because it was kind of gritty and grimy before I left. A really bougie, really nice, bathhouse.
Yeah.
And, so I stayed up at RB Winter again this year.
Yeah.
Larry was there. Larry did the 50. I swept the Burley. But I know that Dave is completely talking about a lot of different things for unpaved next year.
Yeah.
I think it had gotten, and I'll speak maybe a little out of turn, I think it had gotten to be so many different routes from so many different places, and I think he's going to kind of rein that in a little bit. That's my impression of where, but it could be. I could be completely wrong.
That 50, actually that 30, while it is, I do not believe it is a beginner ride.
No,
is probably the best 30 miles you could do on gravel in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Absolutely,
gorgeous. You get everything. It is a lot of climbing for a 30-mile route. But that's the best 30 miles you could do.
Absolutely.
In the whole Mid-Atlantic East Coast.
You could even do it on an e-mountain bike and have fun.
I know. Who would do that and almost take a KOM on a descent just to have some local pro take it from you the next day? But that was 5.5 or 5 inches of travel on with a dropper post.
So I'm not going to put Monster. I'm sorry, Monster Cross. I'm not going to put Monster Cross in the
you
not
said can't miss events.
Can't miss events. And the ones that we're going to obviously have a presence.
The 3 that make sense on here because they're full weekend experiences, and we've said this over time, is the $150 Gruskin unpaved.
Yeah.
And that being said, there's 12 more one-dayers that we'll add, onto, and we'll do another episode. We'll get back to event promoting and make tons of money.
Sounds like you want to do this again.
I thought it was only been a week.
It has only been a week.
And I don't even know, our cadence is off. We've probably been talking for 3 hours already.
I don't know.
It's mostly been me.
No, actually, it's amazing how close we're actually going to get. Oh. and then the Hush Money event.
Yes.
The day after Thanksgiving.
So excited.
I'll say it. The fall fuck around.
Yeah.
I don't care. What a wonderful time that is. And you know what I think about it is? It's not it both is and isn't the course. There's something gets
I got a love-hate for the course.
I got a super love-hate. I love the fact that it's just so random and bizarre, and you go across
everything.
It's you're going through the city, then you're on railroad ballast, then you're on a bike trail, then you're on a road.
Then you're on some why is this road climb so long for what it is, and then everyone just congregates on top of this climb. And hangs out, and then we're under a bridge and eating bacon from Brio, and the hike-a-bike and the ballast is coming, but
it's just fun.
You know the suck is coming, but you're having fun the whole time.
But it's not the hike-a-bike. The hike-a-bike is big suck for I don't like that.
So the actual hike-a-bike, the single track, was that Moe's Corner, or what do they call that? That single track section is so short and so much fun, except for you actually have to get off for that really
Well,
that
I should have
ditch.
gotten off last year.
Oh, you fell over.
I fell over.
But
The peer pressure
actual
got me.
Hike a bike by the rail trail, that sucks.
Yeah, the hike a bike by the rail trail, the one that you have to go up like basically a
short.
20% climb. It's
But
basically
it takes a
just
lot out of you, yeah.
It's climbing a hill with your bike.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about, but it just gets you
Yeah.
from one place to another. So, Monster Cross and fall fuck around I'll put, but $150 Grusk and unpaved.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's a couple that we're missing in here, but those are the ones that I always seem to really enjoy being a part of, and it could be there's others that I just haven't. I'm thinking of like a Lulaca. I've not been able to make the
I
timing
think
on
the
a lot
last
of those.
Lulaca happened.
Well, he's still doing Strucca, right?
Yeah, I'm saying the actual last for right now with Uncle Pat. I think the last Lulaca was 2025 for the time being. He's still doing Staruca or Strucca and some other stuff.
I've always felt bad that I've never actually been able to get to one of those, but I think the timing on them has always been off. But I'm not going many places this year.
Yeah.
I don't have that many. I'm not going anywhere in the spring. I'm not going anywhere. So there's a lot of these things that I'm kind of excited to actually be a part of in a kind of a casual way. So I've got this or that's.
Sweet.
You ready?
No, let's hear it. I'm not gonna look at them.
Don't look at them.
I didn't read them yet.
This is a climbing, like a climbing style this or that. Would you rather spin like a hamster or grind it out like your knees have signed a waiver?
Say that again.
Would you rather spin your knees when you're climbing, spin like a hamster, like really fast on the hamster wheel, or grind it out, like mash it, like your knees have signed a waiver and they're not going to hold you responsible for the damage that you do to them? So grind or spin?
I definitely have grown to spinning on climbs, even like the short ones around here.
I spin, yeah.
Every so often. No, I'm getting old. My knees start to hurt.
I know.
I got arthritis in my right knee and a knee injury.
I don't and if I'm not going fast and spinning, so nonstop. And this could be each stuff you look.
Oh, I'll go with it.
I actually found one too that I don't have to have. But I don't think you've ever heard. There may be a next one. Trust you. Or rather,
both. I'd know the people. Safety in numbers on. Sometimes know where you're at. But if something goes wrong,
comes into like grass in
it was all.
So it's very different way. But they're possible. So I would trust my G back to where you want to be. Wash your and grind because
is eventually going to. I mean, you go what
dream?
Bike makes
no, I'm not. I don't.
Bitching mountain bikes. You just blow like a dirty bike. Yeah, roadkill. But know how I'm in.
So don't let it get so kind of the same way. To a better habit, putting some lube on the will do it. But after
system upstairs.
No.
You ride a lot. That's the problem.
Muck off is in the water out. Is after I held leaf blower.
Making it work.
I
hear this little blower thing, and while it might be good to use on the chain to blow out the rollers, before you wax it to get grease back in there, is you use that somewhere else on your bike, you're going to blow the grease out of your bearings and ruin those quicker.
So Muck Off has this. They call it a precision blower. Wait a minute, I got to find it now.
Muck Off.
And now we're just Googling, and so what? Muck Off Precision Air Blaster. It's $112, and that's on sale. And
it's great for your frame and your chain, but don't blow your chain off on your bike like in the pictures, because if you have any residual grease, it's going to go and coat your wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, take your chain off before you wax it, because you're in between waxing, I would boil water, put my chain in that, and let the old wax come off. Then you'd want to dry it out. I could see that, but you do that with your wheel and everything and on your bike, you're just going to blow the grease out of the chain onto your wheel, and it's going to get stuck in your spokes and coat your rim.
But this is precision. Nasty. Precision.
I'm picking it apart, but I feel like someone has to say it.
Well, it is sold out, so either they...
That's a marketing tactic.
Is this? Wait, when did they release this? April 1st? What is this? No. See, the pictures show the guy blowing the water off of his wheel, which is the same thing a paper towel would do.
Oh, yeah, I see that too.
But it does have a high-speed 80-watt motor. So maybe you could actually double dip. Oh, yeah, he is blowing it right in the chain. Okay, well, I don't know. What's your thoughts on I just saw it here too, the little mini inflators The little powered.
Oh, we were just talking about
things?
this the other day.
What's your
I'm a
take
curmudgeon
on
about those.
No, not for you.
No, it comes back to I saw a lot of students using those in the parking lots. If that's a thing where if I'm in the parking lot before a race or a ride, I'm just going to use
a regular pump. Yeah.
I do know that's bulky, but you still have to recharge. You only get a couple shots of those. So if you're actually filling it up in the parking lot before you race or ride, and then you need it on course, you might be out of air. No, I don't go through a ton of flats or a ton of CO2s with flats, but I also keep a hand pump and a CO2.
I feel like when I get a flat, it's catastrophic.
Yeah.
If I get a flat that I need to actually put the CO2 on it, I've got sealant going everywhere.
Well, that's
and
just how you are.
I know.
When you flat, you flat.
I flat. There's no messing around.
I don't know. I think they're cool, and there's a huge surge of them. And maybe when they're not over $100, I'll get one. But I don't know. I also probably have like a container of 40 CO2 cartridges sitting out. So like it's like
you buy those in bulk, and it's like
if someone bought me one, I would use it. But I'm not going to buy myself one right now.
So it's a perfect Christmas present.
Yeah.
It's a stocking stuffer.
Yes.
That's as all of the media would say. Yeah. We should do a stocking stuffer episode.
Stocking inflator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right.
I'm 50-50. It's the same. I'm like those people that are like, I'm never going to have electronic shifting, and it's coming.
Yeah.
But
I like electronic shifting.
I love it. I rode with Jess a few weeks ago before I left, and we got to the end of the Dal Road, and she's like, I don't have a battery. And I'm like, why didn't you shift or check your bike? So I just put my rodeo in the gear, and I did the whole AJR single speed, and it was pretty good.
Aren't you planning to do $150 single speed?
Yeah, it'll be my third or fourth year in a row.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You going to be competitive this year?
No, but we are going to finish the 100.
Okay.
You and me. You've already finished 100.
I finished 100. I didn't last year. I bounced out last year.
But we'd also get back after the first lap and just want to chill. So
no, I think that's the key with $150.
That's it. The problem. That's the mindset.
Yeah, when you get back on your mid lap and you take too long.
I got some big winter plans, so I don't see that being a problem.
I broke my trainer out. I'm trainer time, baby.
So I'm doing this afternoon, and I started going back to Planet Fitness.
I'm
also riding.
Nice.
For Philly Bike Expo, I have this big goal of riding to Philly Bike Expo, which is 210 miles right now, and it might get longer.
We'll do SAG support for you.
I have most of the route planned, but because I believe Ride with GPS is superior than Strava.
Yeah,
well, at least for route planning.
I believe it too.
And I still pay every month for that. Mm-hmm. I don't pay for Strava.
I pay for both.
But money bags. It just keeps getting more expensive.
I know.
And, I never cancel my Zwift. That's what subscriptions are for. That's how they make their money because everyone forgets. But, no, I'm either going to try to do it in one shot on the rodeo, leave like at 3 in the morning, or split it into 2 days. We'll see. But I figure and that's 2 weeks after or before I think it's 2 weeks after Croatan.
Yeah, I know they're like really close together.
So
yeah,
it's like, man, I can front load my first part of my season, and actually, this is the first season I can actually spend on off season.
Yeah,
I mean, I always could, but
I
have a more better work-life balance. So
there's a fly in here.
I hate flies.
I hate flies too.
Oh my god!
There's one thing I cannot stand.
I hate
flies. They're disgusting and gross. It just ick. And it's not like I'm scared of them. I just want to kill them. Kill, especially when they're inside. Yeah, but I'd kill a fly outside. I'd kill flies outside because they're just gross.
Yeah.
Are you ready to shut this thing down?
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Mid Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. Joey, how can folks get in touch with us? Let's see if you remember how to do this.
Oh man, we used to have so many things. I haven't had the password for our Instagram in over a year, but you can hit Brian up on that. Same with Facebook. Our website is at midatlanticgraveltraveldirt.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I turned the show notes off because of our website's at graveltraveldirt.com. Our Instagram handle is at midatlanticgtd. That's the only way to get a hold of us right now.
I think so.
There's our personal Instagrams,
I think so. And I got some personal challenges I want to put out to our listeners.
Dang. I just gotta look off over here now.
I've got a personal challenge to our listeners. I want this episode to hit 1,000 listens in 30 days. And that I think would put us back in the realm of, come on, let's make some magic happen.
Yeah.
So
instead of taking a whole week off like we just did.
Yeah, I
or
missed
a year, probably a year. We might have taken a year
Could
off.
have been a year, could have been a month,
Yeah.
could have been a week. Who knows? Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from right here, right back in Joey and Jess's kitchen.
And Blake's kitchen.
And Blake's kitchen. Blake's been down here. He made a woof. Everybody, thanks for riding along. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.